Well, I got the Cummins in the shop again. Seems like the only time I get to work on it is when I break it myself or messing around with something. I never really seem to have any problems with this thing, which is not a bad thing, I guess. But anyways, I'm going to try and rebuild this injector today. The one I pulled apart the other day. You'll have to go watch my other video if you want to see that. But I got all the parts here, so I'm going to clean them all up, and I got a injector rebuild kit here from these guys. 406injectors.com. Actually pretty cool guys. They got all kinds of cool stuff on their website, like different size injector tips and like rebuild kits for like all different trucks, and yeah, all kinds of cool stuff. So I'm going to try to put that into this, and hopefully it all goes back together okay and works. I'm going to put it in my truck, and then I'll rip it for a couple days, and I'm just checking out what they give you here. It's pretty much everything you need. Every seal and every spring, external and internal. See all the external seals, and even a copper washer thing for the bottom of your tip. I'm assuming this one here is for the connector tube, just because it's not on the diagram. So that's definitely what that's for. So I'm just gonna have to start cleaning all this stuff now really well, and then yeah, start assembling it. Well, I got my body all cleaned up, as good as I think I can get it. I'm just using some diesel, provided generously by my Cummins over here. So first of all, we need to get these guys here. Well, you can see here, this metal wash here, it has a flat spot, and the other side has like a bulge on it. The flat spot has to go down in there, and then this Teflon washer thinger goes next. Well, I got those seals in there. So next we gotta put this guy where the ball sits on, and this little pin here you can see in the diagram, number 20. And I just noticed it's got some pretty good wear marks on it. Maybe we can make it focus. You can catch them with your fingernail a little bit. They're not crazy bad, but it's definitely worn there. So I'm not sure if that's too bad or not, so we'll see. I'll throw it back together anyways. So yeah, I just gotta basically put this on there and push it in there. Like, you actually gotta push it in there, it kinda clicks in. Well, I got 20 and 16 in there, as you can see. It doesn't go in easy. I'm just gonna say that. You gotta really bash on it to get it in there. And then once you can get some threads, it seems to thread in nice and tighten down and bottom out. But yeah, it's just a 3/8 hex. Well, next thing to do is tear this thing down, get that spring out of there, because it comes with a new one in the kit. Where is it? Here they are. So you just I built a little tool. Here, I'll get the tool. Well, I just blew this thing apart real quick. I got that spring there, so I'll replace it with this new one, put it all back together, and then put a new ball in there. Well, now I got that guy all put back together. I just got my ball seat and the old ball out here. Just gonna replace it with one of these new ones they give you. So I'm just gonna slam that in there, and then you gotta put one of these washers on, and then this thing, and then another washer. And these are different thicknesses too, so you can't get them mixed up. So we got the ball and the seat in there. I just filled up with a little diesel. I wanted to just have it give it a little bit of lubrication for first startup. And then I got this first washer in there. Now we can put this guy in there, right on top. Well, I got all that stuff in there, all the shims and the spring little mechanism thing here. And I noticed you can actually kind of push on it, and you can feel it clicking away, and you can feel that ball making contact, well, like seating in its seat. I assume if the ball wasn't in there correctly, it wouldn't do that. So yeah, on to the next bit, which is this spring and the shim, but they gave me a new spring for that, nozzle spring. This will be this one here. So put those springs in there and that shim, and then I think that's it. And I think we can put it back, put the solenoid on. Yeah, we can. That's it. Sweet, hopefully it works. Alright, so next is that 9 spring and then the 8 shim, which they give you a replacement spring, and then I'll just use the old shim, obviously. So it just goes on here like this, and then the shim goes on top. Just like that. And that's basically it. And then we can screw our solenoid back on, tighten it all down. Can't forget this O-ring too. Before you put the solenoid on, it goes right here on the outside. They do give you a new one actually. Yeah, that guy right there. So grab him out and put him on there too. They gave me 2 of these rubber O-rings, and I was like, well, what the hell, there's only one. So I look at the diagram again and I realize there's actually one inside this too, in there. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, it's in there, so you gotta get that one too. I guess it's the same size as the one right here, because they look exactly the same. There we go, I torqued the solenoid on to, I don't know, tight. So now I gotta do the nozzle here, this stuff here, nothing much, just replace this one spring and put it all back together with yeah, nozzle springs. Nice. Alright, this bit's easy enough. You just got your 2 dowel pins and a shim and a spring, this little thing, and the nozzle. As you can see in the diagram. And they give us a, where are they going? New spring too. Well, basically the last thing I got to do here is you can pull this little plastic piece off, and there's like an Allen key in there, and then just allows you to replace this ball, these other ones they came with. I mean, they must be pretty important if they came with them in the kit, so I figure I better replace them too. I wasn't able to get this out when it was taken apart. I needed it to be tightened on here so I can use this notch to be able to undo that, because it's super tight. That's why I waited until after. See, you can pull a little set screw out and there's a ball in there. I mean, I probably should have done it when I was taking it apart, but I didn't know it was going to be in there so tight, and I couldn't get it undone without having it in with this tool in there. So anyways, I'll just replace it, slam it back in there, hopefully it works. Well, that's that. That's my rebuilt injector now. Hopefully I rebuilt it correctly. I think I got it. I've been researching it a decent amount lately, so I kind of think I understand what's going on here. Anyways, I'm going to pull this thing apart now and throw it in, see what happens, because I don't have an injector tester or anything, so this little girl will be my injector tester. The truck's running great right now. There's nothing wrong with it at all. I just made that boost controller video yesterday, so you can see, you saw it was running great. There's nothing wrong with it, so hopefully I don't break it. Well, I just pulled that injector out of my truck real quick. It's just a Cummins, so it only takes 5 minutes. It's not a big deal. So there you go. Injector pulled out, ready to go. Don't have to take much stuff off. Just that. That's it. So yeah, slam this one back in real quick and hope for the best. Well, I was just putting this thing back together and I noticed my solenoid is turned differently than the rest of them. So my wires don't line up properly. Let's see, they're kind of like turned weird. So whatever, I can just back this off right here and turn the solenoid. No problem at all. I don't even need to pull my connector tube back out. But yeah, just make note of that when you're doing it. You gotta put the, here, I don't know, the two prongs opposite to the bolts. That's how it's gotta be, I guess. Well, I got it all put back together and ready to go. But I don't want to start it up right now because it's pretty late, so usually when you start it up after swapping the injectors around, they smoke and carry on for a little bit, and I want to let it idle, but it's dark out there and I won't be able to show you what's going on. So I'll just wait till tomorrow and I'll just start it up in the morning and hopefully it all works. It's not knocking or anything. Last time I started it up with that injector in, it sounded like it had a rod knock. And right now it's running perfect. It's not even smoking. Well, there's a little bit. But it always does after I swap the injectors in these things. I think it's just a little bit of fuel left over in the cylinder. It gets put in the exhaust and it burns off. Yeah, still a little bit of smoke, but it's pretty happy. Seems to be running pretty good so far, as far as I can tell at least. Computer readings all look like they're, I mean the rail pressure's all keeping up and everything, so I'm not worried there. And I don't think I'll be able to show it, but it doesn't look like it's smoking at all now. So here, I'll just pull over and we'll see what it looks like. Well, I can hear it missing a little bit still. Yeah, it's definitely missing. Smoking a little bit. That's basically how much it was smoking when I got the injector. I mean when it broke in the first place, and then I tried to rebuild it and I made it worse, and then now I rebuilt it again and it's back to basically how it was before. So maybe there was something else inside that injector that was wore out that I didn't replace. Might just need to be driven a little more still though. Yeah, definitely missing. Alright, well let's check it out now, see how it's going. I mean, it seems to run great and drive great. I don't notice any problems when it's running. It just seems like when I stop and idle, it starts to smoke again. There could be fuel stuck. I mean, there could be still some air in the injector, so it could be making the pressure different inside that injector, because air compresses more than fuel. But I'm not sure. It's starting to smoke again though. Yeah, definitely still smoking. Runs good though. I don't know. Well, I left this thing parked out in the cold last night, and I still have that old injector, or I mean that rebuilt injector in there. So we'll see how it starts up this morning. See if we can get a good video of this. Been idling here for like 15 minutes with the exhaust brake on. But yeah, there's no smoke at all. It looks good. So I'm gonna go rip it hard and see what happens. Well, I've been driving around for a couple days with this injector now, and I'm not really noticing any issues with it anymore. It seems to be getting better every day. It doesn't really smoke at idle anymore. It's not missing. It runs great. So I'm gonna give it a good fair try and run it for a couple days or a couple weeks or whatever, and then we'll go from there. So yeah, I'll leave this video here for now, and you'll have to go watch my other videos or my other injector rebuild video and like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. But yeah, that's it for this video.